Hello everyone. Today's topic is business and finance management using algebra. Now, first let us see the business. Now there are various uses of algebra in business. Now if you check each and every business, then obviously algebra is used in some or the other way. So now let us take a small example of any business, that is, I'll take an example of a pizza business. So now in pizza business, say something, I have started a business, that is a startup business. So now in this business, let me consider that I have taken a building for rent. So obviously I'll be paying it every month. So building rent, I'll consider it as $1,000 per month. Then obviously there will be employees. Now I'll just consider a single employee. And I'll pay him $1,000 per month. Now there are two ways for a pizza to be made and sell. So now if I make a pizza for say something around $4 and I sell it for say something around $6. So now let us just see the model that I need to prepare for this business using algebra. Now in algebra, I'll only be using the linear equations. So now, why do we need to prepare a model for this business? Now there is something called as break even. Now, break even in the sense, any startup business will have something called as a break even part. Now break even in the sense, when you start a business, at that time you need to make sure about the profit, the loss. At the same time, you have to also make sure about the interest. So now these three are very much important for a business to start. Now it can either be in loss or in profit. That will be secondary, but when it comes to interest, that will be on your hand, that how much will you pay. Now I'll be speaking about interest in the finance part. So now let us see the profit and loss part of the business and how we'll be dealing it using the algebra part. Okay, so now if we have to see the pizza profit or loss that is going on in my business, so I need to see these three basic questions. That is, how many pizza would we need to sell to break even? Now I have already said you what is break even. How many pizzas would we need to sell per month to make 4,000 per month? Now since this is a startup business, so I have kept it basically as 4,000. If you guys want, you can keep it more and you can solve the problem. Now how many pizzas a day does this come to? So that I get a profit of 4,000 per month. So now let us see how many pizza would we need to sell to break even. So obviously we have seen that when it comes to pizza business, for building rent I have given 1,000, and for employee rent I have given 1,000. So now let me consider X as the number of pizzas. So now 6x is the amount for selling. 4x is the actual amount that we need to make. So now let P be the profit. So now to calculate profit, what I'll do, I'll take 6x, the amount that I'll be selling the pizza. I'll subtract it with the 4x, that is the amount that will be needed to make a pizza. Then I'll be subtracting this with 1000, that is the building rent, and I'll be subtracting it with 1000, that is the employee rent. Now why am I subtracting the building rent and employee rent? Because the amount that I'll be giving for the employee as well as the building will be going from this profit itself. So now let me take the accurate terms together. So I'll get 2x minus 2000. So now I'll consider my profit to be 0 at the beginning. So 0 is equal to 2x minus 2000. Now I'll add 2000 on both sides. So I'll get is equal to 2x. I'll divide by 2 on both sides. So I'll be getting x is equal to 1000. So I need 1000 pizzas that has to be sold to break even my startup business. Now let me just check how many pizzas would I require to make it as 4000 per month. So now I'll take my profit. I'll take this equation. P is equal to 2x minus 2000. And I'll take my profit as 4000. The same simplification, that is I'll add 2000 on both sides. I'll get 6000 is equal to 2x. Now I'll divide by 2, so I'll get x is equal to 3000. So I need to sell 3000 pizzas so that my profit for per month is 4000. Now let me see how many pizzas I have to make per day so that I get a profit of 4000 per month. Now let me just consider that I'll be working for 5 days, me as well as the employee, and will be working for 10 hours. So now for 5 days, so totally 4 weeks. So this will give you totally 20 days. So now I'll be working for 20 days in a month. So now what I'll do over here is I'll take 3000 pizza per day. Now this is not 3000 pizza per day. So now if I divide it by 20, I'll get the amount of pizzas that I have to be preparing for a day. Now if I cancel 0, I'll be getting 150 pizza per day. So now let us just check whether this is possible or not, because it's just me and a single employee that will be working. So now what I'll do over here is I'll take 150 pizza per day and I'll divide the hours for this. Divided by 10 hours per day. So if I cancel this, I'll get 15 pizza per hour. So now to bake a pizza, it will just take 10 minutes. So obviously I can prepare 15 pizza because it's not only me who is preparing, it's also another employee who is preparing the pizza. So if we divide it, I might get 7 or 8 pizzas, me, and the rest will be for the employee. So yes, of course we can prepare 15 pizza per hour because it just takes 10 minutes to bake a pizza. So now that's all about business management. Now I'll be speaking finance management related to business itself. So now if we see finance management, we can see it in personal problems also. Just for an example, if I take a petrol or diesel. Now if I have to fill a petrol or a diesel to car, then obviously we'll go ahead with the amount. At particular times, the amount is rising up to 100 rupees. So now, if I'm not considering it as the accurate value, I'm just considering it as the approximate value. Obviously it is 95, but it is rising at present. So I have considered it as 100 rupees per liter. So now, a person, if he has to go to fill the car with diesel or petrol, then obviously he'll start thinking about the finance management. In short, he'll start thinking how to save the amount. If they just if 50 rupees in the sense, then half liter will be given. So now this half liter can be used for so many days, and the petrol or diesel will be there already. So if that has been managed, so these are the things that will be going on in each and everyone's mindset. So now apart from this, if we see, we'll also consider groceries. And there are many more things that can be considered. So now just let me take an example of Thanksgiving dinner. So now if the dinner is arranged at home, there are two possibilities. Either the dinner will be arranged at home or it will be arranged at restaurant. So now if it is arranged at home, what and all are the prices that will be going on? So now if at home in the sense snacks, juice, then obviously food, and apart from that, if we see, there are something called as other expenses. Other expenses include things, other stuffs, like for an example, the decoration stuff or gifts. So those I'll be considering in other expenses. Now let us consider a restaurant. Now if we go to a restaurant, then obviously we'll order a food, and along with food, juice, and most probably we might give the gifts. So obviously this will cost less when compared to the whole part. So now people will prefer going to restaurants and having dinner over there, because if we arrange a party at home, then all these expenses will be considered. So when it comes to restaurant, then only these expenses are considered. So now let us consider an example. I'll take an example of Peter, who brought a shirt that was on sale for say $18, which is 1/2 the original price. So now let us see what was the original price. So now I'll take the original price as P. So now if I consider the statement, it is 18 1/2 of the original price. So 18 half of P it is. So now if I have to write this in equation, I'll write it in the form of 18 is equal to half into P. Now I need to solve for P. So what I'll do, I'll multiply 2 on both sides. So I'll get 36 is equal to P. So now let me just verify whether the answer is correct or wrong. Now half into P it is. So I'll take it as half into 36. So obviously it is equal to 18. So now this was a single problem. Now let us see another problem using strategy. So the example will be, okay, so the other example using strategy is, Yash brought apples and bananas to a picnic. The number of apples was 3 more than twice the number of bananas. Now Yash has brought 11 apples to the picnic, so how many bananas did he bring? Now let us solve this problem using this strategy. So now in strategy, if we see, then step 1 will be read the problem. Next, step 2. In step 2, you will identify what you are looking for. In short, over here we are looking for how many bananas did he bring. So now step 3. So in step 3, you'll name what you're looking for. That is, you'll name the number of bananas. Now I'll name the number of bananas as X. In step 4, we'll translate the restate problem. That is, they have given that there are 11 number of apples, and in that they have also said that bananas are 3 more than they are 3 more than twice the number of bananas. So now if I restate this, I'll write it as, this is the number of apples, so this is 3 more than the number of bananas. That is twice the number of bananas. This is twice, and if I consider the full part, it is 3 more than twice the number of bananas. Next, step 5. In step 5, we will be solving the equation. That is, 11 is equal to 3 plus 2x. Now I'll subtract 3 on both sides. So I'll get 8 is equal to 2x. So I'll divide by 2 on both sides. I'll be getting x is equal to 4. Now this is the simplified form. Now in when it comes to strategy, there is step 6, that is you have to check your result. Now how will you check your result? The problem says the number of apples was 3 more than twice the number of bananas. If there are 4 bananas, that is the result that you have got, does that make 11? So twice the bananas in the sense 2 into 4, obviously it is 8, and it is 3 more than the twice bananas, so 3 plus 8 will obviously give you 11. So here the whole problem has been verified. At the same time you have solved the whole problem using the strategy. Now in strategy there is something, step 7, that is you'll conclude your result, and the conclusion of the result is Yash brought 4 bananas to picnic. So now there are various problems based on finance management where we can consider algebra using the same method. I have discussed only 2. You guys can also change the numbers and you can try these sums using strategy or using the normal method, how I had done the previous sum. Thank you so much for watching the video.